Now, can you believe that this tracking drone actually fits in your pocket? And this is the Hover X1 Pro Max, and it was featured in Time Magazine's Best Inventions of 2025. Now, it packs 8K resolution into a compact frame that's under 250 grams, and that's going to be delivering big performance in a small frame. Plus, it's foldable, portable, so it's ready to fly at any time, and this is why it's going to be perfect for tech-savvy creators. And before I get started, if you could do the like, subscribe and the notification bell, that would be greatly appreciated. Now, as I said, it captures everything in 8K resolution, which gives you 4 times the resolution of 4K. Plus, it has over 15 automated flight modes, and they're going to be suited for adventure sports or any sort of daily use. Its tri-state modular beacon lets you switch between one-handed, two-handed, or even standalone control, and that makes it fun and easy to use for any sort of skill levels. It also offers precise tracking with multiple modes like follow, angle track, dolly track. You've even got an indoor follow. Plus, you've got dedicated follow modes like cycling or skiing, and that allows support for up to 26 miles per hour or even bursts of up to 37 miles an hour. But I'm going to go into these later in the video. So it is compact and foldable, and that results in effortless packing, so you've got very easy portability, and also the one button hand launch means it's ready to fly at any time, so you're going to be able to capture every moment with ease. Now, I have been flying drones for over 9 years, and the Hover Air X1 Pro Max is something that's quite unique and offers something a little bit different. But the question is it actually a powerful drone, or is it just some sort of clever gadget? Now, I was contacted last week by one of my subscribers who was cycling on an epic journey going from France to Central Asia, and he wanted to know which drone I would recommend for his journey. And straight away, I went for the Hover X1 Pro Max, and this is the reason why. Now, it is ultra compact, foldable, and it shoots in 8K. And it's designed to be launched with one button, so you can capture moments instantly. And added to that, the versatility you've got with the various control methods, in my opinion, it does offer something which is truly unique. Now, I did purchase the drone myself when it first came out, and it is my go-to drone for almost every situation. Not only when I'm doing things like hiking or mountain biking, but even when I'm going out with the family for days out. And I've also even created a full tilt shift video just using the Hover X1 Pro Max itself. Now, not only that, but I've also received 6 certificates of excellence for videos I produced just using the X1 Pro Max from 00 Robotics, and you can see those if you want to by going onto their app and searching for Drone 360 World, and you can see the videos that I've created there. So I will go through with you exactly why I think for me that there's no comparison when it comes to this drone. And the first thing that really stood out to me when I picked up was just how compact it is. Now, when it is folded up, it is genuinely small enough to fit into my jersey pocket if I'm out mountain biking, or if I'm out hiking, it'll easily fit into my rucksack pocket. And that makes a massive difference compared to traditional drones. Plus, at only 192 grams, I don't tend to notice the weight, especially when I'm outdoors. And this is a huge bonus because not only is it light to carry, but it also means I can fly the drone anywhere because it's under that magic 250 gram limit. And there's another aspect to the drone that I love, and that's going to be the control, because the Hover X1 Pro Max was designed to be incredibly simple to fly. So because of the way the drone's been engineered, this means I don't need a controller to get the best out of the drone. In fact, all the flight modes and settings can be done directly on top of the drone itself by pressing a few of the buttons. So instead of having to have a controller, calibrate and everything, I literally just have to press the one button on the top of the drone. It's going to take off from the palm of my hand and start filming instantly. So this means that, again, I can travel light. I don't need to take a controller with me, and it's still going to give me access to over 15 pre-automated flight modes directly from the drone simply by selecting that button on the top. So I select the mode I want by pressing the button on the top, and then that's going to launch the drone without any fuss. And that's a massive bonus because I can be up and flying in no time. And when I finish flying with the Pro Max, I just need to hold my hand out. The drone's going to come back and it's going to land in the palm of my hand again. And because it is fully enclosed with these protective guards, it is safe to launch and land directly in my hand. And this also means that when I'm out riding on different trails or walking or exploring, I don't have to spend a minute or two actually setting up the drone. So I can just launch the drone, capture the moment immediately, and that's a massive advantage. And that's going to lead me now onto the camera. Now, the Hover X1 Pro Max does shoot in 8K, and that's really impressive for a drone of this size considering how small it is. Now, the 4K is fantastic, but having the ability to shoot in 8K takes up to a whole new level. Now, you may think that you don't need 8K, but there are a number of reasons why you do need a higher resolution. Firstly, you get incredibly detailed footage. 8K actually gives you 4 times as much resolution as you get from standard 4K footage. But more importantly, it gives you a lot more flexibility when it comes to editing should you need it, because you can crop in, zoom, reposition the footage in post-production, and you're not going to lose any quality, which is perfect for when you're doing things like Instagram, TikTok or YouTube. Even in a variety of outdoor conditions, the footage is still going to be sharp and cinematic. And because the drone is designed with automated flight modes, getting a dynamic shot is going to be incredibly easy. And that's the next thing that this drone does so good. And that's the ease of use along with these 15 automated flight modes. So instead of flying manually, which you can do, and I will go more into that in a moment, the drone can automatically create cinematic shots around you with the press of one button, as I said earlier. So you're going to get things like follow, where the drone locks onto you and then follows your movement. And that's going to be perfect for things like running, walking, cycling, because the drone's going to keep you centered in the frame the entire time. And honestly, the subject tracking is incredibly reliable. The drone keeps me constantly framed in the center, and it reacts smoothly to any changes I do in direction. And then you've got dolly track. Now this creates a smooth cinematic movement where the drone either moves backwards or forwards, and again keeps me entirely in the center of the shot. And then you've got angle track or side track, and as the name suggests, the drone is going to follow you from the side. And again, this is fantastic for things like hiking or cycling, skateboarding, or just walking around through a scenic area, because it's going to open up that area and creates more dynamic motion that makes the footage feel way more immersive. And after all, that's what you've actually got the drone for. And like I said, I don't need to pilot the drone to get some great shots. I just launch it and the drone does all the filming and everything for me. And that's not to mention all the other ones you've got, things like zoom out, orbit, bird's eye, dolly zoom, snapshot, indoor follow, 360 spin, spiral and hover. In fact, it's so easy to use that even my 9-year-old granddaughter will use the Pro Max when we're out walking. And this brings me on to 2 of the other modes, and they are the specialist cycling and skiing mode. And for me, this is a massive thing because it optimizes the way that the drone flies and follows you when you are going through tight and enclosed areas. And that's going to give you more accurate following depending on which mode you're using. Plus, you've also got a smart ascend option. Now what this does, the drone will obviously keep you centered in the frame, but it also detects anybody around you, and then it's going to raise up or lower itself to keep you within that frame. And again, that's a fantastic feature you've got on the Pro Max. And this brings me on to something which really sets the system apart, and that's using the beacon and the controller. And this is where things get really interesting when you combine them with the Hover X1 Pro Max. So as I said at the start, the tri-state modular design of the beacons lets you switch between one-handed, two-handed or standalone controller. But the beacon isn't just a controller, it's actually got multiple ways that you can use it. So the first way is as a standalone device. So I put it on the handlebars of my bike, and it allows me to monitor a live feed from the drone itself, so I can see exactly what the drone is doing on the 1.7-inch OLED display. I can also control the drone directly from the beacon itself without ever having to use my mobile phone. And on top of this, I can use a system they've got called Copilot, where I can reposition the drone as well without having to bring it to land, just by using the joystick on the beacon. And again, this is going to save me time when I'm out and about. Not only that, but the beacon also allows for more accurate tracking, and that means the drone's going to follow me more accurately during fast movements or even when I'm behind obstacles. Plus, if I want to, it's got the ability to record sounds. So should I want to put any commentary or have any background noises over the footage, the beacon's going to take care of that automatically as well. Also with the beacon, you've got a fantastic system called Dashboard. And with Dashboard, it allows the drone to overwrite onto the footage things like your speed or the route you've taken, a lot of the stats you've got when you're actually out using the drone for things like mountain biking or hiking. And finally, it's got the safety features like return to home, where I just press the button and the drone's going to fly straight back to me. Now, secondly, I can pair the beacon with one half of the controller, which is modular. And that's going to give me a one-handed controller, which makes flying incredibly intuitive. So I can adjust the drone's position while focusing on whatever I'm doing, whether that's walking, biking, or just filming myself. Just by moving my wrist, the drone is going to follow whatever movements I make. And then finally, I can connect the beacon up to the full controller and to my phone, and that means I can have a fully fledged controller for the drone. Now, you don't have to use your phone if you don't want to, because you can still use the 1.78-inch OLED screen. But obviously, if you do use your phone, it is going to give you a lot more options. I've got full manual control and more range, so I can capture more landscapes, cityscapes or creative flights. Plus I've got options like being able to use the slow motion at 120 frames a second. So along with this, I do get even more advanced options for shooting should I want to take my videography or photography to the next level with the manual control settings, and I even got the option to use 10-bit color. So depending on how I want to fly, I can go from a super simple automated shots all the way up to full on controller filming. So the real question is, who is the Hover Air X1 Pro Max actually for? So in my opinion, it's going to be perfect for travelers, vloggers, anyone who wants to go out and do some really creative footage without the complexity of traditional drones. Plus, if you want something that's portable, fast to launch, having the flexibility of 8K and incredibly easy to use, then this is a really compelling option. So overall for me, the Hover Air X1 Pro Max makes drone filming effortless. It's compact enough that I can take anywhere, it launches with one button, it'll film in 8K, and with its automated tracking flight mode, it can capture everything I need without a full-on complicated setup. So honestly, it does feel like the future of personal drones, but I would like to know what you think. Would you use a drone like this for content creation? Anyway, that's the end of the video. If you did find it useful, let me know in the comments below. If you've got any questions in relation to the Hover X1 Pro or the Pro Max, also let me know in the comments below and I'll do my best to help you out. So I'll catch you again next time, and thanks for watching.